Okay guys, so this is a little bit of a bonus video really today with the news that's been put out on the Express and Star from top Express and Star correspondent Tim Spears about the comments that Jeff Shee has made about all options are on the table in regards to Molineux. As we know, there's already been mooted that they're planning to expand the South Bank to a 10,000 seater, ideally if they could get permission, and legislation was started obviously to an all-standing stand. However, Foursome have massive ambitions for Wolves. Let's not be under any illusions. Their aspirations are for us to be in the Champions League and, as already stated, aiming to win the Premier League at one point. And if to do that, we need to increase revenue, we need to increase the capacity, and ideally up to around about 60,000. So the thoughts are, how do they do that? How do they achieve that? Number one option that all Wolves fans would want and agree is that we stay where we are, in the same position in terms of close access to the to all of the infrastructure and to the city centre at Molineux, and we expand it up to a 60,000 seater stadium where Molineux is now. Now, it's possible. I'm sure they've got lots of people that are researching into this, but Wolves do not own all of the land around Molineux. We know there's Asda on the one side, there's issues on the other side. The council are obviously going to have a big say into this and how they can help. I would think that the City Council would want Molineux to stay pretty much to where it is, because it does bring fans easily into the centre for the before the match and the after match socialising and all the revenues that brings into local businesses. However, Wolves cannot achieve their goal and we have to move. Is that the end of the world? So I ran a poll in the last hour, and it's interesting in terms of a simple question: stay put at all costs or move if we need to. 52% of you, okay, on a small vox pop of people, say to move. 48% stay. So it's pretty mixed, almost 50-50. But I think people would be open-minded if the plans were put forward by Foursome. My point of view personally is that if all options have been exhausted and we have to move, we have to trust in Foursome. And I do believe that Foursome and Wolves and the managing director and all the people behind there, Jeff Shee and everything, would explore every option before coming to that conclusion. But it is right of Jeff Shee certainly to say that all options are on the table, and there has also been a statement following the article from the managing director Laurie Dalrymple, basically stating that, you know, we've got a fantastic stadium, of course we'd like to stay where we are, and we will consider all options. I'll put that statement up on the screen, and I think that's a fair statement from the MD. You know, Wolves are just being honest and open and putting the cards on the table about this. There are a couple of options that have been suggested on Twitter. There's some brownfield land. I'm not sure whether it's referring to the old Goodshire site. Obviously that's a bit out the centre and not ideal. And someone else has suggested, and you know, it's possible, we've got massive open space at West Park, more than big enough to host to build a brand new stadium on, whilst we continue to play games at Molineux. Obviously that's a park, it's open land, and there's going to be issues in or around that, but I'm sure that in coordination with the council that space could be made elsewhere for the park. It's a potential touchy subject, but there is space there, and that would keep the ground very close to where it is, around 800 yards, and be, you know, have potential. The other thing is, would Asda, you know, and Foursome's muscle and financial muscle persuade Asda to vacate where they are, and for Wolves to take ownership of that land, and with conjunction with the council move the Asda site to somewhere else to create the extra land that Wolves may need to move the stadium. Obviously with the stadium redevelopment, if it's staying where it is, there's going to be a stadium capacity drop, you would think, in the short term whilst they develop the South Bank, whereas if they built a brand new stadium we wouldn't have a drop at all. Let me know what you think. you know, in the comments below. Whatever happens, even if we had a brand new stadium, I want it still to be called Molineux, even if it was New Molineux. Leave your comments in the, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Any ideas you have, whether you're adamantly against or passionately for or open-minded, I want to hear it all. And the story will continue to develop, and hopefully by the end of the season, when we've hopefully achieved the top 4 finish in the Premier League, Wolves will have a much better idea of what their plans are going forward. And I'm sure, and you know, as every Wolves fan would hope, that the council really do support Wolves' ideas and thoughts, and they work together with Wolves, and which I'm sure they will.